All right, so drawing your creature. I've collected images online into a folder, and then I decided which ones I wanted to work with, and just to make it easier to show you, I printed them out, just a black and white draft on paper. So for the first drawing, I'm deciding I want to do the camel head with a bear body and a caterpillar tail on it. So I am going to start off by just kind of blocking in an area that I have to work with you on this drawing. About here, I guess, huh? And all the way to the bottom. I want to make sure you can see all of my drawing. I think that's about good, right and through there. Okay, so I have a bear that is vertical. You see the triangle he makes? I'm going to replace his head, but I definitely have that triangle. Plus, I'm going to have that tail on him. So he's going to be quite long in comparison to his height. So if I think about it, he's going to be like, he's going to be one section high. The tail is going to go out here. So that's 1 to about 2. So when I'm thinking about laying this out, I've got this space. Here's 1, right? Let's say that that's the size of a paper. And then I have 1, 2, which takes me all the way over there. So the bear, let me get the bear back for you to see. The bear is a triangle, we've decided, but I'm going to make the triangle like up to the head. Well, no, I'm not. Let's just do this. Here's the triangle. And then I'm going to add the head, the tail to it, which will be about that long. All right. The head, I want to do the head of the camel. So I'm just going to start off with a rough right now. I'm working with a brown colored pencil, just hopefully so you can see what I'm drawing. Sometimes when I draw in graphite, it's a little hard to see. So let's say that that's going to be his head. That's all I'm going to do for right now. There's his body. So he's got kind of a collar of fur that connects the head to the body. And then he's got his arms, his legs, his arms, his feet. This foot is a little lower. It's cut off. I don't want to cut it off. So I'm going to get that whole foot in there. There's his little toes. And then this one also at an angle across here. And we've got that nice big leg. His leg is foreshortened across here. In this one, the arm is in front of the leg. In this one, the leg is in front of the body. The arm on the right is about right in through here. Here's the center of him, right there. So he's got one arm coming down. There's the, again, real rough, the other arm coming down, and a rough. And then this, you see how this comes right out of the head here? I'm going to do that with this also. And then I have the tail, which is this caterpillar. So I'm going to start the caterpillar about right in through here, and I want the caterpillar to feel like it's kind of coming out of here. So you see how big that's going to be? I can decide how big I want these parts to be. There's no real reality to it, so we get to decide how they connect. I have little dots along here, and I have this long curly Q here, and the shorter one here. And And let's just do a couple of these in through here. So that is basically going to be my creature. Now that I know everything is going to be the right size, I can play a little bit more with that drawing of the camel. One of my favorite things about taking my trip to Morocco is riding camels. I still get such a thrill every time I ride them. And I go back and I use the same guy, so I have the same camel every year, which is kind of fun. My camel's name is Cappuccino. There were others named Jimi Hendrix, and because supposedly Jimi Hendrix spent a bunch of time and wrote Castles in the Sand in Essaouira in Morocco, where I go. What else do they have? I'm kind of blanking now. It's been a couple years already. This lip is coming from around. And there's this pull across here, and through here. I'm going to make sure, I don't know if you can see it really well, there's sort of that collar I talked about. Here's where the head fits in, the jaw, the head. So here's the jaw, here's one fit in, and there's the collar as it fits in. I'll do a little bit more with that eye. And I did print them out and not in high quality, so if I'm getting stuck, if I need more information, I can go back to my color photo on the computer. Like the ear is not too clear for me there. So I also have a mane on this camel. I might add that to it. Good enough for now. And I'm going to get more information in the paws. There's a pad that comes around there. And there are toes. And again, some of this is cut off. If you have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you have pieces that are cut off, like let's say you have a camel and you're trying to draw the feet, but the feet are cut off, just do a Google search for camel feet and it will bring up some images just of that part and you can kind of piece it together. So there's the heel on this side. And I can't see those paws very well. I might need, and I think there's some nice claws on that paw, which will be nice to get. This is just too general here. So I can see them a little bit better on this side. So I think that's kind of it. Okay, so when I go to draw this on my paper, I'm probably going to have a vertical composition, and I don't want the long side of it to go any longer than about, let me see, the length is 24. So let's say about 15, 18 inches. If this were 18 inches, this is half of that, so that would be 9 inches. So I think that's what I'm going to do. This will be 9 inches, and this side will be 18 inches in my final drawing. I have to now decide on a background, so I'm going to play a little bit with that in the next video. On this one, I'm going to decide that he's actually tiny and he's living on a plant. So you can see I've got that elongated format already. And I drew my plant in thinking about the fact that the creature is going to sit across here, come up here, and his tail is going to come down this way. So I'm just going to quickly block this creature in. There's a foot, and I'm starting off with just kind of the basics. A foot, an arm, which takes me up into the head, and the head down into the other. This is my center. This takes me down into the other foot, which takes me into the other foot on this side. This should probably be a little bit bigger. And then that tail now is going to be coming out this way. It's going to overlap. This is going to be in front of that plant right now. And I'm going to have those curly cues that I had before. But do you see how I now have that creature inside of a format? So I could decide maybe that if this is the end of the creature here, I only want this to come here maybe and have that one leaf, and maybe make this leaf only have one leaf, and maybe make this leaf smaller up and through here. I could certainly have the indication of a second leaf in through there. It's hard to get rid of the line because I'm making them so dark. So I have 1, 2, 3 leaves. I've got the stem in through here coming out of the corner. I'm hoping that you can understand what I'm doing. And there is the creature. Another thing that you can do is pop part of the creature out of the border that you're going to create. So let's say instead of the border going beyond the foot of the bear, let's pull the border in here. And maybe let's pull the top of his nose, the camel nose, right in through there. So there is going to be the border, and we'll have that come down. We'll let the foot go out of the border. We'll let the leaf go out of the border. I need to have this come down so that I can see part of that leaf. It's going to go off the page at this point, and then we'll see that again. So I'm hoping again that you can see that what I've decided. Leave this in, have that pop up, have that part of his nose pop up, and that's where my creature is going to exist.